Hello, friends, and welcome back to a new episode of r/IDOWorkHereLady. Today we have 3 great stories, and I want to say thank you very much to everyone who's subscribed to the channel and hit the like button. Let's get started. So, to cover all the bases, I'm a black male with a degree in engineering and master's in business and technology, and run my own business. I was working in Silicon Valley, Sunnyvale in particular, where I was the site operations manager, a job that required business attire, including a tie. The position carried a staff of 40 persons, 2 Latinos and 38 Caucasians, plus an admin for all the purposes of maintaining the electrical systems, air conditioning, exterior landscaping systems, and data center, along with a host of other projects. My site covered 6 buildings of about 600,000 square feet and spread along one street. We'd been working with architects and engineers to renovate 4 of the buildings, which is important to the story. About 2 months into the renovation, early one morning, I was working in the data center and received a call from the admin. Apparently PG&E was doing some connection work down the road and needed to get into the building to check the gas service. The service was only accessible from inside the building. I maintained one of the 3 master keys on the site, and since I also managed the renovation, I was the key contact for service-related personnel. Here's where it gets weird. I made my way up to the front lobby to meet the admin. I saw she was standing with a Caucasian male dressed in standard Pacific Gas and Electric clothing, carrying a work belt and holding some measurement tools. As I walked up the hall, my admin said, "Here he is, here's the site manager." From a distance, I heard the PG&E guy say something, but I thought I misheard what he said. What he said was, "No, I will not be meeting with that black guy." I toned it down a bit because the actual words he used, I don't even speak. I'm also sure you can imagine what he said. My admin looked at the guy and said, "What did you say?" He caught himself and blurted out, "I'm not going to do anything with that guy." Now keep in mind I was still walking up and hearing this exchange as I got nearer, so I extended my hand to offer the man a handshake, to which he looked at me very stoically and never moved an inch. I said, "So I guess we won't be shaking hands." The guy didn't say a word. I looked at him and said, "So I hear you're here to check the gas equipment in one of our main closets." He abruptly turned to my admin and said, "Tell him I won't be talking to him and you need to get somebody else up here." At this point, I became somewhat ruffled. My cool exterior started to heat up a bit. I didn't need the interaction, which simply was one more in a long line of mindless interactions from people like that over the course of my life. I looked at him and said, "There's only one way you're ever going to get down the hall to that closet, and that's with me holding the master key. You can go or stay here. I don't care, but you need to decide quickly because I'm not wasting my time anymore on this conversation, or you." He turned to the admin and said, "I am required to get into the closet today to check the meter." I then said, "It looks like you need us more than we need you." So I said, "Let's end this stupidity. I will walk down the hallway to the closet. You can follow if you want to, or not." At that moment, he asked the admin if she would walk down the hallway with us. The admin looked at me with practically a question mark on her face. I said, "Yes, walk with us so we can get this idiot out of here as soon as possible." Now picture this, the 3 of us walking down the hallway, the admin in the middle, and the PG&E guy opposite her. We get to the closet and I open the door. The PG&E guy didn't want to touch anything I put my hands on, so he slithered into the room and took his measurements. When he came out, he talked to my admin, never looking at me. He said he was all done in there and that there would be no more reason to return. So all 3 of us walked back down the hallway again with the admin in the middle. The guy walked as fast as possible to the lobby doors and never said a word as he left. The admin called the guy a jerk as he left the building. I told her, "You have to look at life this way. 1 in 10 persons on this earth is a butthole. Odds are that sooner or later you're going to meet up with one. Today was our day to meet up with that person. Just move on, count our blessings, and thank God that we're not him." And yes, I could have called PG&E and probably gotten the guy fired. The way I look at it, I'm 100% sure he would meet up with someone that would teach him the lesson he needed to know. That teacher did not have to be me or us. That's my story. One of many about idiots like that. I don't just work here. This happened about a year ago, right after I'd opened 2 niche hobby shops. It's an incredibly male-dominated hobby. My typical clients are retired white dudes driving nice Audis and BMWs. I'm a small 30-year-old chick covered literally head to toe in tattoos. None on my face though, LOL. A new-to-me customer walks in. Apparently, he'd been in before while I was out of the shop, and one of my male managers helped him. He walks into my shop, and when I smile and greet him with a, "Hi, how are you?" he just kind of grunts at me. Okay, whatever. Sometimes people just want to be left alone to browse. I stay on my computer finishing up some ordering and let him wander a bit. He's taking his time, but clearly getting a bit agitated. So I ask if he's looking for anything in particular or if he's just browsing. He just looks at me, a pregnant pause where I begin to wonder if I should speak up. Like I said, old retired 1%ers are my bread and butter. When he finally breaks the silence, not with a polite response, but with a gruff, "Where's your manager?" I've been in retail for 15 years. I'm used to the people who just don't remember their manners, but this question doesn't make me think, oh, he's looking for my boss. It makes me think, oh, he's looking for one of my employees. So I start to ask a couple of qualifying questions. I'm the only one here today. What can I help you with? No, I want to speak to the man that's in charge. I'll wait, he says in a very condescending way. Sir, I am in charge. What can I help you with? No, where's that man that helped me last weekend? He and I were discussing a project, and I want to speak with him directly so I can tell him what I want ordered. This is where I get a little snippy. Yay, working for yourself. I was frustrated that he was speaking to me in such a tone and that he couldn't seem to understand that I am in charge. Well, sir, I'm in charge here. I do the ordering, so what do you need me to order? He lets you do the ordering? Sir, I can see we're not going to get anywhere. If you'd like to come back later, you're more than welcome. But considering you won't speak to me and would rather speak to a male employee, maybe it would be best for you to come back at another time. Obviously, this enrages the entitled jerk, and he gets so red that I was sure he'd pop at any second. He starts sputtering, and he takes a couple of steps towards me. I have a particular character flaw where I forget that I'm all of 5 feet tall, so I stand my ground. My mother calls it lack of self-preservation. He demands my boss's phone number. Now I realize maybe I wasn't clear enough. I am the... And I get cut off. Now being ignored and interrupted are two of my biggest pet peeves, and this man has accomplished both in a relatively short amount of time. So I hand him a business card and walk off. He immediately calls the number and my cell phone starts ringing, so I answer. Thank you for calling. You've reached my name, store name's owner, all while staring him right in the face. I'm petty as hell, and even this made me wonder if I'd gone too far. He stormed out, and I never saw him again. Still cracks me up when I remember his red, veiny face staring at me with wide eyes. The OJ lady. While I was working for my college as a sound tech, I spent my days working at an Orange Julius at our mall. We had a very small staff pool, so everyone had to know how to do everything, as whoever was there was essentially the manager. On the weekdays, there'd be one morning and one evening worker, while weekends there were about 2 per shift. A couple of months of working there, we had a lady complain about the drink we'd served her. I was just coming on to relieve my coworker, so I wasn't sure what had gone wrong with her drink. The characters in this drama will be myself, Crazy B-Word, Sally, my coworker, and the security guard. Note that it's been a few years, so some of this might be a bit exaggerated. Crazy B-Word, slamming her drink down on the counter. This drink tastes like crap. I want a remake now. Sally, sure ma'am, what exactly is wrong with it so we can make sure we don't make the same mistake? CB, it's not sweet at all and barely tastes like oranges. Me, no problem, I'll just double check the sweetener to make sure the dispenser's full. It can run out sometimes or get air bubbles. Just fix it. I go in the back and confirm the sweetener's fine, so maybe she was just picky. It's all good, I can get that drink started for you. CB starts making comments about customer service, yada yada yada, and I make sure to make her drink a little bit stronger. After I give her the drink and she leaves, Sally and I take a small sip to see what was wrong. Spoiler, nothing was wrong with it. Seeing my somewhat distraught coworker who doesn't handle confrontation very well, I say, don't worry about it, she's probably just a little screwy in the head or something. Don't let it get you down. From across the cafeteria we hear, oh, now you're talking crap about a customer behind their back. Shame on you. I want to see your manager. Ma'am, that would be me right now, as Sally's getting off her shift, and she's the one that trained me to begin with. Well, she's a crappy teacher and shouldn't be in management if she can't provide customer service correctly. Sally's ready to burst into tears, and I tell her to go into the back and I'll take care of this. Me, ma'am, please find your way out. You're upsetting my coworker and making a scene. CB makes some more rude comments and throws her drink in the trash without even taking a sip before walking off. Not long after, the security guard, who's pretty tight with us, stops by and asks what happened. We typically give her free small drinks, and she occasionally gets a hot dog, so she takes good care of us in turn. I tell her what happened, and what do you know, from across the court again, "You're gossiping about me again! What kind of service are you?" Security guard gets the picture and immediately escorts CB out of the mall with another guard. Turns out she'd been making trouble all over the mall. Again, some events may be a bit exaggerated, but it's what I remember, and I still find it hilarious to think about. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.